Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kicks were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. Kung fu fighting. Hopefully nobody out there is kung fu fighting, because I've got a great show. I don't want anybody getting hurt. What's happening? Welcome to your Vape at 5. I am your host. I'm BlackCat. Today I have a review for you. Something a little different. Something a little different for me. I don't know if it'd be different for you, but something I'm very excited to bring to you. Today I'm going to show you, give you a little user experience and a little bit of feedback for my use of the Profile Unity RTA. This is designed by Wotofo in partnership with Mr. Just Right One and Brian from the Vaping Chronicles. I did not have a Profile RTA, but this is following the trend that we're seeing now of really fantastic RTAs moving into an RTA. So it keeps the traditional deck, mesh coil deck of the RTA and puts it into an RTA. Used it for about 6-7 days. You guys were here when I wicked it. I think I wicked it last Thursday before I left for my trip to New Jersey. Used it exclusively all the way to New Jersey, all the way back in the car while I was in my hotel. Well, when I was outside the hotel vaping, you know, that type thing. But I've been using it now for about 6 days very consistently. And I've had a really decent user experience with it. And I'm going to be showing you what all is with that today and where you can pick one up, things like that. Also, for those of you in the live chat, we have a giveaway today. It'll be at the end of the show, which will be edited out for the version I actually download or put up on YouTube. We have a giveaway today for a set of coils and a bottle of Cat's Whiskers e-liquid, the #1 e-liquid, on the face of this beautiful, wonderful earth. Thanks so much for joining me. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and take it down to the table. I'm going to show you what's in the box, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the Profile Unity RTA. I'll show you the ins and outs of it, bring you back up top, give you my thoughts on it, and then I'll rate it, and we will get out of here. So without further ado, let's take it downtown. We're going to take it downtown Chinatown. Here we go. You ready? Here it comes. If you're ready or not, you're going down low. All right. Get that focused in there. Here we go. This is the Profile Unity RTA by Wotofo and Mr. Just Right. You can see the packaging here. Has a clear action figure style plastic on the top. On the side here it says Unity, Profile Unity. Scratch and sniff and your barcode. A little information of what's in the box. I'll read that to you as well. That glare coming off my light is because of the plastic there, so I apologize. To get this open here, not a big fan of the presentation of the device, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not a big fan of these plastic covers, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, inside here, you're going to get the Profile Unity, which fits nicely right here. On top, you're going to get the extended glass, which will give you a 5 milliliter capacity. The Unity comes with a 3.5 milliliter capacity. To use that, they're going to give you an extension piece onto the chimney, which I'll actually show you that as well. Pull this out here. You get a lot of extras with Wotofo. One thing in here that you're really going to want to take and pay attention to is the user manual. There's a lot of information here. It is phenomenally done. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic. Pictures of all the different things that you need to have and need to use in order to wick the RTA, which is a little, it's not for a beginner. It's certainly for somebody who has some knowledge on how to do it. But all the pictures and everything that you need in order to do that, fantastic job on the instructions. That is a super A+ for me. I'm going to get a couple tools here, and they don't look like what you would think they're for. This is actually for your mesh. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your mesh and you're going to wrap it around this tool to measure it and to kind of form it into putting it exactly into the RTA how you're supposed to. So that is what this is for. It kind of looks more like a coiling rod, but that's not what it's for. And then you get a driver, Phillips head driver, so you can install your coil. You're going to get 2 pieces of wick. I've already used one when I originally wicked it. These are 6mm wicks, and there's a 6mm coil that would basically with the mesh once you put it in there. You're getting some Next mesh. This is KA1, 60 to 75 watts. It comes out to about 0.13 once it's installed here. I was getting right around 0.12, 0.13 with it. So that is very accurate, and it is Kanthal. And then here's your extras. So one thing in here to take note of is you see this little cap here. That is actually the chimney expander. If you want to use, you're going to screw that right on top of the chimney. I'll show you where it's at. If you want to use this with the extended 5ml tank, that is what you're going to use. You're going to get a couple springs here. These springs are for underneath the deck. There's a spring that pushes a piece of ceramic up and keeps that cotton nice and tight. A couple extra deck screws, some O-rings, and your nice little Wotofo bag. So let's throw all this back in here. I'll be using all this because I actually am going to wick it up and install the cotton here, which can be a little tricky, and we'll probably have to go into a little bit of detail on that. So here is the Profile Unity RTA. Let me focus that in just a touch for you guys. There we go. So here's Profile Unity RTA. It is 25mm at the base, 48mm from here to there. So it's not a tall RTA. I think it looks a little bit taller than it actually is. It's only 48mm, which is a lot. It puts it very close to, actually shorter than some of the RTAs that I've already reviewed, which were more like 50-52. I like the look of this RTA. Take a little spin around here and take a look at it. This is the black version. Comes in black, stainless steel rainbow, gunmetal, gold, and blue, which are typically the standard colors for Wotofo. Sorry for some fingerprints on here. It is a little bit of a fingerprint magnet. 5 air holes on both sides of the RTA. Those are 1mm by 1mm. I vaped it primarily with 3 open. That's how I vaped it at about anywhere from about 70 to about 90 watts. I started it out at 90 watts and I found it just a little bit too, it just felt like I wasn't getting a whole lot of flavor, so I dropped it down to about 70 and then again moved up to 75, and that is where I actually found the best flavor. Now you're gonna see some moisture and stuff. This just came out of my ultrasonic because this is the RTA I used the entire week. So if you see a little moisture on there, that's where it's from. Resin drip tip, 810. Tight draw there, fairly tight. O-ring right inside of there, if you can see it. I don't know if there's enough light. I'm going to bring you down just a little bit more and focus you in. O-ring inside of there, holds it in. Got this nice grip part on the top here. It is bayonet style for the top here. Get that off. There is your top cap, or top part where you're going to open up to refill. Machining on it's really nice. Kind of gives that bricklayer look there. Inside there's your chimney. 2 nice fill ports on both sides there. No problem filling this thing up at all. Very easy. Take you back up just a bit, give myself a little bit more room. There we go. All right, so this comes in a number of different parts. It's a little, so it is a side airflow, and there's a couple things they had to do in order to get the side airflow to work. Most RTAs are bottom airflow. This being side airflow, it does not leak at all, but they had to encompass an extra piece here in order to get the liquid to go down into wick. So you're going to see here, this is going to come in a few separate pieces. Here's the top part. This is where your extender will go, right on top of there, and then it will extend it to the 5mm capacity. But everything on it looks good. Machining on it looks really, really nice. All right, here's the inside of the chimney. This part here covers the deck. You'll see 2 large juice ports there. So your juice flows down in here and then wicks, and I'll show you where it wicks into once we take this part off. And if you look in here, hopefully you can see it. I shouldn't have gotten black. I think that's going to be a lesson learned. I think I'm going to start getting different colors. The black is just a little bit too hard for this camera to pick up. But you'll see these two large wick holes right here. And those are actually on both sides right next to the deck. So when you screw this in and it locks in perfectly, you're going to be perfectly lined up with the coil and the airflow. The coil will be lined up perfectly with your airflow, and the wicking will be lined up perfectly with these wick ports. Here is the star of the show. So here's the deck. Let's get you a little bit closer. So you have this ceramic piece here that I was speaking about. There's two springs underneath this. What this piece does, as it did in the Profile RTA, is it keeps your cotton pushed against that mesh coil. Not a big fan. I mean, I understand its purpose, and I understand why it's here. It's actually a brilliant idea to do this. It's very flimsy, though. I thought it could be a little bit more restrictive and push it a little bit harder. This just feels a little flimsy to me. But it does do the job. Here are your large wick ports here on the side. You're going to want to put your wick, and I'll show you. You want your wick to barely fit into this little post here, and barely touch the bottom. You don't want to overstuff it, and if you do, you're going to restrict the flavor. You've got to keep the mesh nice and moist. If you don't, you're going to get a ton of dry hits. Bottom here. Got Mr. Just Right's tag, TVC's tag, the Profile Unity, and Wotofo. 510 pin on this is actually amazingly far out for an RTA. So if you wanted to use this on a mech, I don't know if it would be smart to use it on a mech, just because you're probably going to put too many volts through it than what is needed to actually use the device. But it certainly is hybrid safe. As you can see there, that 510 pin sticks out far. Gold-plated 510 pin as well. To install it here, really, really simple. You're going to Phillips head or flathead screwdriver. You're going to open it up here and here, slide your mesh in, and then close it back down. You can also, with this deck style, you could easily put in a dual or single coil, regular coil if you wanted to. So you don't absolutely have to use the mesh. But if you decide to use the mesh as it is intended, they give you two pieces with the RTA. You can pick up a pack of 10 from Next Mesh for about $9.99, and it's the exact same Kanthal mesh that you're going to get with the product. I'm not exactly sure how much the pre-wick that Wotofo makes is, but they do give you two. And I used the one for about a week, and it easily has another week in it. If you use good e-liquid, that's not going to clog it up, or then you'll be just fine. All right, so let's put this onto my Addy stand here, and let's put that mesh. Let's go ahead and install a piece of mesh in here. And I'll show you exactly how I learned how to do this. So we're going to get a piece of mesh here from this Next Mesh. And you're going to take your coil. Well, it looks like a coiling rod, but it's actually not. Let's see if I can get that to focus in. There we go. Take the coiling rod here from Wotofo, and you're just going to take this and press it around just like that to get the perfect shape. There you go, just like that. Now, once you have that, it's bent, and just like the golden arch, we're going to open this up with your driver. All right, push that open here. There we go. Open there. Set it right in there. Oops. And place it in. Then we're just going to put your finger there and hold it. And we're just going to tighten it up. One side. Hold that nice and firm there. And tighten it up. Now, so the install of this is super easy. I'm just going to burn this in real quick. You don't really need to do much. But I'm just going to run about 20 volts through it to burn it in. So let's see here. It's coming out at 12 ohms. I don't know if you can see that. pick it up on my camera, but let's just drop this down to about 20 volts. Or 20 watts, sorry, not 20 volts. 20 watts. And we'll just burn it in real quick. There we go. Looks perfect. All right, be careful here taking it back off so we don't touch that mesh. And that is all you have to do to burn this in. Super, super easy. Now, let's grab a piece of the cotton that Wotofo provides right here. Again, this is 6mm cotton. You can use regular cotton as well. It works really well. That's what I used before. And we're just going to put this through here and pull it through nice and even. And you can tell we have a ton, an absolute ton of cotton. So this is going to be an extreme haircut. So this is like showing up at the barber shop with like 2 feet long dreadlocks and getting a buzz cut, because we are going to cut it off. I always wish I had dreadlocks. I always thought dreadlocks were super cool, but unfortunately I'm balding, so I can't grow anything now. And I think the older you get, the more you want cooler hair, and the less possible it is. So I'm just going to comb this out first, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So I do it probably a little different than other people, but it works for me. I'm just going to comb this out as best I can. In the instructions, it tells you to cut it at an angle, and I'm definitely going to do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one side perfect, and then by pulling it back from the other side, and then I'm just going to cut the other side. Once I get it installed and wet down, I'm just going to put it into the wicking port and then cut the other side. So what I mean by that is first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. Then I'm going to cut it at an angle. So I'm angling down with my scissors, and I'm just going to cut that just like that. Maybe a little bit more. Then I'm just going to pull it together again, and I'm going to cut again on the side here and again on the side over here. You've got to make sure you're not overpacking. You got to make sure you're not overpacking that wick port, because if you do, you're going to limit the amount of juices up there, and you're going to get a dry hit. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out again. So we're just going to keep working on it here, and this is a process. I mean, this is not, again, this is not really, well, it's certainly not for a beginner. This is definitely for a more experienced, rebuildable vapor. Now, let's just take a look and see how long that is. So I'm feeling like that is pretty good, but I want to do a couple more things before I put it in there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut just a little bit more off the side here. I want to get that more, just a little bit of an angle. And then I'm going to take some of the e-liquid, which I'm going to be using, which is some cat's whiskers. And I'm just going to wet it down just a little bit. So let's get some moisture in there. And this is going to stretch out the cotton, because whenever you wet cotton, it tends to elongate. So I'm going to see how long it looks now, and I'm just going to pull it back until I get it exactly how I want it. That looks about right. So let's go ahead and take that. We're just going to place it down into the juice well here. And what I'm going to do, now that I've got an idea of how long I want it, I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. So I know that my first side here, and let's just take a look. So, all right. So this is down, part is still hanging out a little bit. And again, this is a process, guys. And I don't want it fully push that down, this side down as well. All right, I'm just going to pull it back just a little bit more. And that looks pretty good. So that's, and if you see there, it's not fully touching the bottom of the juice port there, but it is through. And it's actually a little bit more than I wanted, but I'll take it. So here we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to do my first cut. I'm going to angle it down. Then I'm going to do another cut here, angling in from the side. Then I'm going to do it again on the other side here, angling in. All right, now I'm just going to comb it out again. And this side, I'm going to just make it exactly like the other side looked before I tucked it, using the other side as kind of a guide at how long I want it. And we'll wet it down just like we did the other side. The more cotton you take out of here, honestly, the better. You're not going to hurt anything by taking too much cotton out. So we're going to do that. We're going to angle it down again. Cut a little bit more off. Cut a little bit more off over here. Don't be afraid to cut too much cotton off here. I'm telling you guys, it's not going to happen. Now, I'm just going to take this and measure it and see how it looks. Looks about right. The real test will be when I bent that mesh a little bit. So let me just pop this back out. Got to keep that mesh nice and even. There we go. That looks perfect. All right, so let's wet it down. And I'm almost guarantee you I'm going to have to cut this again. Once I wet it, it's going to elongate that cotton and make it a lot longer than it originally was. And yep, I'm going to have to cut it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this end off here. Then I'm just going to pull it back out again. And I'm going to cut about, what would that be, 2 millimeters? Maybe. Cut this end again. There we go. All right, so let's see what that looks like. And if it's not right, then yep, too long. So I'm going to pull it back out. And I'm going to cut it again. Make sure you wash your hands before you do this too, because you're going to be touching the cotton. And whatever you pull, whatever you've touched during the day is going to go into your lungs. Or at least that's the way that I think about it. So make sure that you wash your hands before you do this, because you're going to be touching stuff that is ultimately going to be going into your lungs. And of course, make sure you wash everything. All right, so that's a little bit more than I wanted, honestly. So I'm going to pull it out again. I want to be very careful with how I actually wick this. So I'm going to pull it out again. And I'm just going to take just a little trim off of it. But you make sure I get it nice and tight. And again, this is how much time you want to spend getting this together. You want to make sure that you get it perfect. Did I get it? All right, that looks good. So take that little piece off there that I cut. And we'll put it back in. There we go. That looks a lot better. So there it is. Now it's a little jagged, but none of it is touching the bottom of the juice well, because I want all that juice to get in here and it basically just to sit in there and wick. All right, so let's put this on to bring you up a little bit here. And I'm going to put this on to a mod, and we're going to juice it. Turn this up to about 65. There we go. And we're just going to juice it a little bit more. I'm going to get it really, really nice and saturated. Try to force that cotton to suck up as much juice as it possibly can. There we go. And I'm just going to use the bottle here to make sure that all The cotton is running the same way. All right, that looks good. Now, one of the things about this RTA that is a little different is you can't put it together while it's on the mod. You have to take this part off, and you have to make sure that you get this bottom section screwed on perfectly, because if you don't, it will not wick correctly, because you have to line it up perfectly with the air holes and the wicking ports. So the wicking ports have to match right here, and they have to match right there. So the only way that that can happen is if this is perfectly put together. So we'll screw it back on. All right, look down in there. Air looks good. All right, looks perfect. Go ahead and put our top back on. Put it back on our mod. Let's clean this up just a little bit. Clean that off. Ugh. All right. Now let's juice her up. All right, let's let that get down in there. All right, let's put the top back on here. Let's bring it back up top. And let's talk about the profile RTA. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for hanging in there. I know that was a long wicking tutorial, but I feel it's necessary. It's not the easiest device to wick. It is something that you have to learn how to do, and I spent some time learning how to do it and really watching others do it and kind of taking a little bit from each one. With this device, this is the first device I ever watched a bunch of reviews for. And the reason I wanted to do that is I wanted to get as many perspectives of how to wick it as I could. And I took some from everybody. I took some from Vaping with Vic. I took some from Mike Vapes. I took some from Jay, how Jay wicked his, a little bit different, some things that he did. And I took some from Suck My Mod. So I wanted to learn as much as I could about wicking it and then kind of incorporate it into. I think the key to wicking it is to wick it as little as possible in those juice wells. The problem with it is that you have to put so much wick between that bottom ceramic piece and the mesh coil that if you put all the wick on both sides into those juice wells, it's going to limit the amount of juice that can get up and wick it. So you've got to really comb that out. You've got to really cut away the excess, and you've got to keep it so that it isn't laying on the deck, and God forbid it's coming out of the juice well. And what I mean by that is that the wick lays all the way down onto the deck through the juice well and then comes out the other side where you're preventing that e-liquid from getting in and getting up underneath that wick and then pulling back up and absorbing up to the coil. I think that's the most important part. So I really wanted to go through that and show you guys how I did it, and hopefully it works. So let's have a couple of vapes off of it, and then we'll talk about it. It's at 66 watts. I'm going to kick it up. I vaped it at 75, so let's kick it up to 75. Really good, rich flavor. So, the Profile Unity. I didn't have any expectations for this, and actually I was a little bit intimidated by the device before I got it. And the reason being is I've never used a mesh device before. I'm a coil builder, so I'm typically used to using my own coils, building my own coils. So you giving me a coil or you giving me something different than a traditional coil is a little bit unnerving to me. But I wanted to try it. And the reason I wanted to try it is because I heard so much great feedback about it. And also because it's innovative. It's different. And the original Profile RTA I thought was a fantastic device, even though I never got one, just because I'm not a mesh guy and wasn't really reviewing a lot of products then, so I didn't get one to review just because I just wasn't a mesh guy. But as I'm reviewing more, and I reviewed a lot of RTAs, I wanted to stack this one up against the other RTAs that I've used. And I'm going to say this, as far as flavor goes, the flavor, if that is your main objective, the flavor on this is as good as any other RTA that I've used so far this year. With the exception of the Rebirth RTA is kind of a notch ahead of everybody else, but this one holds its own with the Rebirth RTA and with the other RTAs. The pros and the cons of this RTA, and there's a few. The biggest con that I have for it is I don't want to use the word hassle, but with my limited hillbilly vocabulary, that is literally the best that I can come up with. That it is sort of a hassle. What is that? Okay, why are you showing me that while I'm doing this?
I thought you would laugh.
You thought I'd laugh? Okay.
That's like hysterical to me.
Okay. It's a picture, nude picture. Why are you showing me nude pictures during my review? Nude? Anyway, so back to the review. Let me finish this and then you can come down. Give me like 2 minutes and then you can come down and cause heck chaos. Maybe I'll edit that out. Probably not. Anyway, so back to the cons. I don't want to use the word hassle, but it's a lot. There's a lot to it. It is not something for a beginner. You're going to have to really look at the instructions. And again, the instructions with this device are A+. They're fantastic, and they will show you exactly how you can use it, how you can wick it, and how you can get a really, really nice vape from it. But it takes a little bit of experience, and you have to be patient with it. It's not something you can just take out of the box, stuff a coil in, throw the cotton in, cut it, wick it, and go. You really have to be patient with it, and you have to take your time. So, in a way, that's a con because there's a lot of work to it. Could you get the same vape from a dual coil RTA or a single coil RTA? Yeah, you could. You could. It would be a less hassle? Yeah. So that has to be a con for the device. There's a lot of notes in e-liquid that only come out at a higher temperature. You're not going to be able to pull those notes from your e-liquid with this type of device. And you're going to want to use an 80-20 blend. You're not going to want to go... I mean, I did hear of other reviewers using 100 PG or VG, max VG, and it worked. I probably wouldn't suggest that. I'd probably stick with more of like an 80-20. So you're gonna have to be conscious of what e-liquid you use when you're using this, because you're not going to be able to crank it up to 150 or 130 or 120. You're going to have to run it at about 70-75 watts. That is really the sweet spot with it, and that's where you're going to get the best flavor and the most flavor from the device. The pros for it. So there are quite a few pros. One, the flavor. So the flavor right out of the gate. The flavor holds its own again with any other RTA that I've used. And I've used about 5 different RTAs this year already, 5 or 6. And it holds its own, with the exception of the Rebirth, which I think is a kind of a step higher than everybody else as far as flavor goes, at least for me, it was. But I think it's that's really kind of the exceptional RTA of the year. This one holds its own with every other RTA as far as flavor goes. Fantastic flavor. I did not get any dry hits. Not a single one. Somebody had talked about dry hits, and that may be a thing. That wasn't a thing for me. And I was worried about it. I was worried I was going to get some, but I never did. I honestly got no dry hits through the entire process of testing this device. The look of it looks great. It looks absolutely great. I love it. I think that the all black and even the gunmetal looks sexy as hell. The stainless steel looks sexy as hell. But the look of it is absolutely fantastic. Great topper for any mod that you have. A little matchy-matchy here with this little VGod mod that I have. I think the look of it is absolutely fantastic. It's innovative. So using a mesh RTA, I believe that right now there's only like maybe 2 or 3. I think Vandy Vape made one, and then there's another one that I'm not sure the name of. I believe it's more high-end. So it's innovative. I mean, there isn't a lot of mesh RTAs. The thing about mesh RTAs for me is I feel like it's kind of a push. I feel it's kind of a push because I can see the mesh RDAs, and I understand that. I think trying to make it an RTA may be a little bit something that is kind of out of its wheelhouse. But they did a great job. And I can tell you that, the people that came together on this with Brian and Mr. Just Right One, some 2 really innovative, brilliant, smart guys who really figured it out and figured out how to do it. And the last pro for this as a coil builder, it doesn't have to use mesh. You could use 2 regular coils in it if that's what you wanted. And that is a huge benefit to me. So let's take the price into account. The price of it is $37, $36.99 on sale. So it's putting it right in that range of all the other RTAs that are really out now, that are mass produced, that are out right now with the bulk, the rebirth. The fatality is about 42. So you're right there in that ballpark. Is it worth $37? If you are an experienced vapor and you're an experience with RTAs, you're experienced with rebuildables, it is certainly worth $37 without a doubt. I do not have any problems paying full price for this device at all. On rating this RTA on a scale of poor, meaning it will hurt you, all the way to excellent, which you can't live without, I say it is a good to very good RTA. Absolutely. One that I will certainly continue to use. It was fantastic when I was driving. I got great flavor. I got a great vape the entire time that I was using it on the drive back and forth to New Jersey, which is about an 8.5 hour drive each way. Juice capacity on it is good. It doesn't really go through juice that quickly, which is surprising. You think it would. It'd be thirsty with all that cotton, but it's not really. Once it gets wicked and it's wicked nice, it doesn't really go through the juice as fast as you would expect it to. At the beginning, when you first wick it, the juice will just all that cotton will just suck that juice up. But once you have it wicked, and if you stick with the same juice, that's another thing that could be kind of a con as well, is you can't really change up juice in it. Because there's so much cotton that if you change it up, you're going to be tasting the other juice for about another day before the other one finally gets in and takes over. So you got to kind of stick with the same juice through it, which I didn't mind me because I'm just using the Cat's Whiskers or my Turkish Harvest. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the review, if you like my wife interrupting me and showing me nude pictures during the show, that happens a lot. Join, come hit subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment below, tell me how I'm doing. I'd appreciate it. And join us for the Vape at 5. It's every day at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock every day. Vape at 5. That's why I call it the Vape at 5. My time, which is Eastern. I do reviews, build tutorials, not really as much anymore. Do the Vape Hot Tub on Friday, and I do features of great builders. Also have shows with Nick Devine and Johnny Drift, some other great builders. So join us and become part of the Black Cat fam. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you